reveals this game. And a pretty important item, I think, surprising that it came out as early as it did, considering how his start was 2 deaths in lane, but 18 minutes, I guess, is not entirely early, or more 17 or 18 minutes, I think, but it looks like they are going to lose their tier 2 bottom lane, or at least lose a lot of damage. Everyone's making a commitment to try to save it. For the moment, it seems they're just content going to other lanes, farming out, look for that Bloodstone completed onto Sing Sing, as he's very close now. Double damage actually picked up, and Bone 7 with that Echo Saber. His next item also will be coming out fairly soon with 1,500 gold in the bank. So lose a tier 1, or lose a tier 2, alright, as long as we get these next items out as quick as possible.
Kaipi is still realized that they're still up against the Slark, who's very farmed at this point. About 2k ahead of even Bone 7. And he also has the Aegis, so even if they bring him down once, which is entirely possible, right, with a nice little combo, playing around the Dark Pact, he's gonna come right back, and then there's gonna be the Ravage available to kind of give you a lot of problems. Speaking of problems, Rupture comes out onto Dragon Knight, he just shrugs it off. It's an ancient black dragon is blocking their way. Nicely on side of it.
Which dragon's better? It looks like Die is in a pit of fire.
Nice small little play that you can do as a lifestealer now that you hit level 11 and past.
Yep, and after that Blink Dagger now coming out for the Coon, he is getting danger to a Force Staff on top of it. Everything that he kind of fell behind on in lane is starting to come back to him in spectacular fashion. Now about 140 gold away from that completed Force, and the next tier 2 push is coming out very quickly, but all the items now that we've been talking about have been completed, or for the most part have been completed. So now Kaipi are ready to fight, and even though they do have that Aegis on Swift Ending, if they can bring down Slark's team around him, then it's not like they worry about bringing down the Slark twice, because he's the only one that they have to worry about.
Charge up the cannon, Storm Spirit ready to go in with the lifesteal inside of them. Need to pick a target. Blink Ravage sitting on the side, Mitch ready to go in whenever, same for Elder Titan, ready to run
waiting
interference.
for the Force.
There it is now, we're gonna go straight onto Badahari here, they not quite able to burst him down, he gets yammed off, targeting it a little bit, the Aegis is used already though. And there's a Ravage on 4 heroes, just as Swift Ending comes back, it's gonna be enough here, Bone 7 saves with a Shallow Grave for the time being. And will not be able to get a TP out though with a swap coming in just in time. 1-for-1 trade plus the Aegis being used, but I was going to time out soon anyway. Now it's Kaipi actually on the run. The Coon, Sexy Bamboo, split to the side with Sing Sing and MDL. Still cover front here, Sing Sing should have enough mana left to make his way out. But not enough to save the tower on top of that.
Bamboo, this is an interesting maneuver from him. He's out of mana, he's just scouting out, I think, hoping that his Storm can make another attempt, another zip in, but it's not like it's really working out in his favor. MDL is going to move in, but getting the Aegis, not that bad. I think that Bone 7 thought that his TP had completed, because he didn't really try to turn on his armlet or really do anything aside from Rage after the TP had gone or had been cancelled. So maybe he would have been able to survive a little bit extra longer, but I don't know if he would have been able to survive the fight as a whole. That was just a really good way of keeping him locked down, getting rid of the TP, and keeping focus on the right objectives in the team fight. So while it was a good initiation attempt from Kaipi, it just wasn't as solid as I'm sure they hoped it would be.
Also just a beautiful Ravage, right? It was just half a second later, maybe just as the Slark could have come up, maybe they could have gotten another kill, but as it stood, it was perfectly adequate to win in the team fight right then and there.
Yeah, half a second later they would have been able to get their spells off and evade it, so it was a really good timing for it, I think.
Yep. Just riding the edge right there between having to pop it because would have gotten wrecked otherwise, and just giving Slark enough time to actually respawn.
Another Infest combo on Coon, this time looking for a target with a Blink Lasso, and Badahari once again is the only target that comes to mind. He's not exactly the easiest to bring down. They find him, they go for it. He gets his armlet off though. This could be enough to keep him alive. Mitch is there, but no Ravage available on the Tidehunter just yet, as meanwhile Sing Sing goes in for Swift Ending, brings down the Slark. This time he can't really do all that much. No Aegis to keep him alive. Sing Sing out of mana though. MDL and Sing are focusing down LeBron, and they will get him. 3-0 so far. Sexy Bamboo is back and looking for a potential fourth target. Looks like they're not able to bring it down though. They get a tier 1 tower, very well worth it for the situation at hand, but it will refresh the glyph, so I'm not sure they can push any further. For the most part though, that was a very, very well thought out fight, and even though, yeah, it was the Dragon Knight, typically the hardest tier to bring down, didn't really work out the first time. They were able to make it work this time because they were able to split their focus and get Storm Spirit to turn the fight into a chaos.
Great bait and switch here. I mean, they go on the one target, drawing out Slug, and that's the point where Sing Sing came in like a scalpel, cutting out the heart of elements, the heart of their team fight essentially, if you allow that, all of that. Now Sing Sing, he has a passenger, might be able to get himself out, especially with that Force Staff. Barely able to escape here, same for the Coon, able to firefly up to the high ground. So elements don't get anything off of this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, they get their tier 2 alive. I think that's alright, all things considered. But from that last fight, it just shows that Kaipi are in a pretty strong position right now. Now, I'm not going to say who I think is winning because I learned my lesson from the last game. But it's looking like Kaipi have the strength of taking the team fights now. And their initiations...
Whenever there's no good Ravage like like the one before this last one.
Yeah, they can pick their initiations a lot better. They've got low cooldown spells, they've got high damage potential from the Infest Bomb. So now that Ravage is down, they know it's down for about 100 seconds. They can try to make a fight happen. They've got lots of Bloodstone charges on the Storm Spirit, and he can deny and come back very quickly. It's all looking pretty green for them to go in and fight again. But Bone 7, I think, wants his next item. He's got the Maelstrom, but he wants more. He's being greedy, and that's good. Keep getting items, keep getting income on Bone 7. Don't fall into the trap where you fight too much that you don't farm enough on your core. And now they'll go in for their next Infest Bomb. Smoke up through the jungle. If they find Swift Ending again, this could be huge. But looks like they're taking their time, going down south and looking for a target, more so in the side shop or the secret shop.
Those ones once again, Balahari, but Balan also a more opportune target. He should be blown up immediately here. Next to LeBron actually gets a stun off. Bone 7 not raging up in time. So Milan able to make his way out. LeBron not so lucky. He's meanwhile back. Sing Sing comes in. Swift Ending this time around will be able to ulti TP out. And even LeBron finally falls as the Coon actually commits to the high ground for it. And the rest of Kaipi able to finish up Dragon Knight in the meantime, but they did lose the Coon here. He went a bit too YOLO there.
Yeah,
Tower goes down as well, so overall, Kaipi, I think they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, they're happy with it, but usually trading your Bat Rider for a Vengeful Spirit is not really a play. I think they gave up a little bit more than they had. Should have been happy with one, especially a kill on the Badahari. You keep him down, you keep him from snowballing out with items and farming, and this turns into an alright game for him. But the initiation was on Milan, and Milan didn't end up dying there. I think maybe they might have been better spent just going on Badahari and saying screw it, but very important that they keep Milan from being able to get his combo off. So right call there. Bone 7, meanwhile, he's got a basher. He does get it off on the last hit before the TP completes, and now Bone 7...
Was it good though? Bone 7, which... Alright, that's...
Yeah.
Great for Swift Ending there. Praying to the RNG gods, I suppose.
I mean, he got 4 hits off. He was supposed to get a bash.
Yeah.
I mean, 25%. If you get 4, you're gonna bash. But still rather unfortunate.
Well, it's gonna set them up nicely for free Roshan. Plenty of minus army here, especially with the value medallion of courage for the Vengeful Spirit.
They're going to try and contest this Roshan again. It's dropping pretty low, though. It will go down. Badhar is in the cliff, though.
Well, it's going to be a bit annoying, but TP will cool down a couple of seconds. They finish off the Coon. Actually, LeBron sacrificing himself. Make sure that Badahari doesn't have to spend that scroll.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, they will lose the tier 2 top, but it's kind of the that one standard trade right out of the books. Tier 2 for Aegis.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of old Alliance days where they do that kind of thing with Nature's Prophet. Well, any team really would do that with Nature's Prophet, but you know, let them roast, let them eat cake. I'll go in and I'll take out their base in the meat. So that was kind of interesting though from Batrider. Like that was not going to work. It just wasn't going to work. But the
high risk, low reward
thought of it was like, all right, maybe I can stop this because I'm not really that important of a target. I go down, I'll be back up in enough time for the next fight. So higher risk, moderate reward, but no real drawback aside from dying.
Yep. Also speaks of confidence Kaipi actually still have. I mean, obviously they have the one game in the back.
Yeah.
So don't have to be worried too much, especially considering that this is a best of 5. Plenty of room left. We can go a little bit more casual, a little bit more YOLO at a couple of times at the very least.
Right, free tier 1 tower. All right.
Yeah, well,
that's a free gold.
Not worth defending this, but was not like 200 health before this, I believe. At the same time, Sing Sing pushing out the middle lane a little bit, or he could if he wants to. Recognizing that the entirety of Elements up top.
A nice Batrider ward too. Keep him from trying to ride up the left. If they see him, LeBron will just swap him into the fight and boom, he dies. So I like how Kaipi are playing this one back though. They recognize that there is a threat if they try to go in. So they're just going to go in, farm up other sides of the map, and continue to do what they have been doing, which is if they don't feel like they can take a fight or defend an objective, they'll just go and get a counter out the gold with like some gold income of their own. Even though it doesn't quite stack up, like getting 2 towers is a lot better than a couple of creeps. It still will give them something more than if they tried to defend and didn't end up succeeding.
Yep. Now a couple of extra items come out. Storm Spirit with the Lincoln Sphere. Gonna be useful just for the big stuns that they do have on sort of elements here. Dragon Tail being the most important one. It's because it's 0.25 second stun at max level.
Yeah, and one that he can't really use Ball Lightning to evade either.
Yeah. Just an instant stun, instant range stun as well if he's in Dragon Knight form, so. And plus the Abyss Blade on Slark, he finished it up just a moment ago. Also, that's the one linchpin of the Slark where teleports, which used to be the big counter, he goes on you to teleport away if he doesn't have enough damage already, or has anyone helping him. Gonna get away every single time, but right now that's not a possibility anymore.
Yeah, but at this point you just don't play alone anymore, or at least don't play alone if you don't have vision of the Slark.
Yep.
So, I mean, Sing Sing, he knows where Slark is, so he can freely farm up his own jungle and not worry about that initiation. Plus, you know, with the Lincoln Sphere, you can't just get immediately Abyssal Bladed, but everyone else just needs to play this one a little bit further back. They're a little more susceptible to that initiation, so they've got to be sure not to give Swift Ending.
So where do we go from here? Because this Aegis, still a little bit of time left on it. Do Elements try and use that to go high ground now?
I don't know if they really can try to go high ground. I mean, the problem with going high ground against this team is it's kind of like, you know, in a pub if you were to try to go high ground against a Pudge. You're constantly worried about the ability of Kaipi to just jump out on you and put you out of position. And even though Elements, they do have a swap if someone does get lassoed, you commit a swap, and then you leave yourself open to 30 other initiation attempts.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about pushing high ground against Kaipi relies on the fact that you've got to do so prepared for any sort of initiation. It looks like Swift Ending could be in a bit of trouble. He did leap away, so he doesn't have that one off. They've got to be sure, though, that they get him out, and, okay, they get him with the Rupture. They know he can't move, so they know exactly where he is. And with no TP, looks like it's up to the team to come in and defend.
Still not quite there just yet. They use quite a lot and still has that Aegis, even if they do bring him down, but the Glimmer Cape looks like it's going to be enough for now to keep him safe. Pops his ultimate, now stuns up on 7, takes a lot of damage from Shellgrave just in time with a pushback from the Flame Break. And now Sing Sing, that's his own element. Same for Bambo, they're coming in to clean up just as the Aegis expires too. This is sad, so sad now for Elements. dying
Yeah.
in such a fashion. Almost to the point where he should have tried to suicide himself instead of just popping his ultimate.
They almost got Bone 7 too, but this Dazzle's really been working out as a pick, just
Yeah.
keeping him alive and allowing him that a little bit of extra time to either escape. I mean, if he had Infest off cooldown, I imagine he'd gone into someone like Storm Spirit just to make use of that potential re-engage if he needs to, but for the moment, Elements, they lose two. Not just two, they lose two major cores. So Kaipi, they still have the fire they need to continue to go in for these pickoffs. The one issue with this lineup that is starting to become more and more apparent is their pushing is kind of iffy, and every single time they win a team fight, it just doesn't seem like they can go for any more objectives. Roshan's constantly down because it gets taken right up from under their noses, and the lanes are all really pushed out. So
Yeah.
Kaipi, they get these pickoffs, they get these kind of scrappy team fights, but they don't really get anything more than a couple of kills.
Yeah.
Now, does it stay that way? It probably will change if they continue to play this style. They'll get more and more. But for now, that just seems to be their one major downfall.
It's also an element, so just being very vigilant and very mindful of just keeping lanes pushed out whenever they commit a little bit deeper. Whenever a Swift Ending decides to farm a little bit more aggressively here.
Mhm.
So, right now, all the lanes on their side of the map, I don't think they're gonna go too aggro. Same time, Kaipi. To maybe invade the Dire side jungle. They have a package ready for the Batrider. Smoke available on Dazzle whenever they want to pop in. Little do they know that there's absolutely nothing here, but Bambo, I guess he'll find that out with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah. Well, they also, there was a scan down by the secret shops. They know exactly where elements are. They smoke up, they'll make their way down. This could be still a successful initiation. Actually, Bambo leading the charge.
They're just so far away though. Now Swift Ending caught with the Lasso, annihilated by Bone 7. Actually gets his ultimate off, plus the TP, but it's enough damage over time to bring him down anyway. And there's a crucial kill. There's no
initiation right
buyback on
there.
him.
Like, they got the Rupture, they also got the Lasso, so he was taking guaranteed damage
Yeah.
that entire time. Just a really great play from them. And now Bone 7, finally this push is starting to make itself apparent. Doesn't have any minus armor anymore. The Blightstone was sold, but they still have a 5v4 team fight. And now the Infest and the Sing Sing, they can turn this one around if they get vision. But the TP out from Batrider means they're just going to back off again. Maybe. Maybe
It's
not.
some
No, they
vision
go
from
right
the
back
Remnant. They're gonna go right in for Milan, annihilate him. LeBron caught with another Rupture, brought down, just served on a silver platter for Sing Sing. They will finish up the tower. There's still Ravage available, but only Mitch and Badahari there to try and fight this. It's not going to be enough damage, not by a long shot. The buyback's available either, so this will be at least one set of racks. Not sure if Kaipi want to commit for a second one, but they definitely could if they wanted to.
I think they might just be able to go for the tier 3, but then let that be it. Cut their losses there. But they're going to play a lot safer and just back off. They don't need to go anymore. They don't have...
Yeah.
Roshan, even though we are in the randomized timer, so we don't know if it's up yet, or they probably don't know if it's up or not yet, kind of Schrodinger's Roche, they can safely assume that the tier 2 tower is probably the better objective for them now. If Elements were to think of anything, I think they'd try to go in and maybe make their way to the Roshan pit. They may even be able to sneak one out in about 45 seconds once again, but their tier 2 will remain standing. They group up for a smoke because I think that's them expecting it, but Kaipi are nowhere close.
They already bailed out a long time ago. A little bit quicker, quicker in terms of what they think Elements is going to do before Elements even thought about it with that smoke rotation here towards the lower, towards the Roche pit again. Will respawn incidentally in 10 seconds, so this might still work out well for Elements if they stick around for a little bit longer. They don't, they just... I guess they want to secure the raid inside jungle first before they go back into it.
Yeah,
Find
I mean,
no one, but right now, Kaipi. Also figure
You've
what's
gotta-
going on.
you've got to consider the objective hierarchy right here. Roche is not up, so what's the next objective you can go for? Well, secure their jungle, get some vision up. Like, I mean, getting a kill is not entirely possible, getting a tower is not entirely possible, so that was kind of the only remaining objective that they hadn't really secured, that could possibly be secured for that moment. So now that Roche is back up, there's an objective for them. Does Kaipi know they're there, though? They'll make their way in. Now that the creep wave has gone to the high ground, they know something's up. Whether it's a smoke or a Roche, it's definitely the Roche. They make their way to the pit. And can they stop this? Half HP.
Roche is it's not falling terribly quickly here, even with all the minus armor. Now the Spirit's gonna scout out Kaipi. Enough to keep them away, so Roshan will be a freebie for Elements, and Kaipi position themselves right between the pit and the enemy base, just waiting for someone to walk up there. Gonna go right into the trap. Swift ending in missile, looking for a target, finds Bambo, meanwhile in front, Ravage hits on 2, Flame Break pushing back just a little bit, Sing Sing starting to drop low, has to walk out of here, but he does not. Brought down, there's another Ravage, that was the second one from courtesy of the Refresher. Shadowgrave in 33 as the fight still rages on. Kaipi actually not losing all that much. Sing Sing gonna be back soon here with a really long jump. Swift ending still trying to do what he can, but ultimately he is not enough damage up against the combined force of Kaipi. 4 for 1. Now for 2 I suppose, with the Storm Spirit respawning so quickly. Courtesy of those Bloodstone charges, but still devastating for Elements. Kaipi gonna get themselves a second set of racks now.
Surprised they? I mean, I guess really ending it's really difficult for them here, so I'm not all that surprised, but they will get, as you said, they will definitely get that second set of racks. Maybe slower now that Vengeful Spirit's alive. That was an incredible fight from them, because Bone 7 just did not die throughout all of it. He stayed there, he tanked up everything, and you mentioned those Bloodstone charges, still at 17 for Sing Sing, so it's not like he really struggles after dying that one time, and that long jump just completely destroyed the Slark's HP pool.
Yeah.
So, second set of racks go down, and even though, once again, they lose the Roshan, they get a whole lot more out of it to make it.
Elements thought that Roche advantage would be enough. It didn't end up being the case.
No.
Not by a long shot. Once again, very confident play though for Kaipi. I mean, just taking control of this high ground. Elements, they must have known, right? They must have known that something was going on there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't take Roche without anyone else showing on the map and not expect the other team to try to contest it, but that was really strange. Something you don't see all that often, but a really great play from Kaipi was just, you know, force them to have to go back through them. Because what else was Elements going to do? Walk on the Kaipi side of the map and just chill? No, they had to go back to their base some way or another, and Kaipi wasn't just going to let them do that. So, great play from them, and now there's one Rax left remaining for Elements' side. A tougher one to get because the Tier 2 still stands, but by all means not impossible.
Tier 2, not a lot of health points, so it's not really that big of a deal for Kaipi to get rid of. Yeah, and the other two lanes perpetually pushed in. It's also an easy objective to take. Just group up as 5, while the double Ravage at the very least is still down. It's gonna come back in 40 seconds.
Double Ravage? No, try double Rupture.
Oh,
I love this. Aghanim Scepter and Aether Lens for Bloodseeker.
Smoked up. The Coon has a package again. Ready to blink in, blow someone up, but the entire development's close by, except for Badahari in the front. Time and time again, he's been the target of these lasso plays, and the time where he's tanky enough to withstand them, for the most part, has come and gone.
I love this play from Elements, though. They smoke up, they're going for one last defense, going behind to catch him by surprise, to blink Ravage, but it doesn't connect on anyone.
Bone 7 dodges it now, looking for a target. It's gonna be Milan while Sing Sing takes care of the LeBron. 2 supports brought down immediately. Now Swift ending caught with a Rupture. He's trying to fire it up against 4 heroes, but he cannot. There's just too much kiting, too much damage coming his way. He's TPing out and he will be able to finish it off, but the GG is called at the same time. No way back into this game. And Kaipi close out the second one as well. All of a sudden now, only just 1 game away from making it to the main finals here, the main qualifiers in the WCS 2016. WCA 2016, goddammit. These games, man, very action-packed. Elements, once again, they looked, in the beginning of the game, they looked like they had all the control in the world, but they couldn't quite close it out. Kaipi, maybe a little bit too seasoned, always knew what they had to do to continue the game and to take the win after all.
Yeah, just an overall fun game coming out from both teams. A lot of fights, a lot of action. But in the end, I mean, it just seemed like Kaipi are connecting a whole lot better. Every single fight, they've got their targets correct. They've got their initiations on point. And